How's it going, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? Thank you so much for tuning in to Drawface. I am your host, Low Tier Hero, and I wanted to create a counter guide video against Runick, playing in the Duelist Cup for the December 2022 round. I did not expect the amount of representation Runick had. I felt like I was playing Runick every other match, and if it wasn't Runick, it was branded. So because Runick is a brand new deck, and it is basically meta at this point and has high amounts of people playing it, I figured we need a counter guide. Alright, thank you for tuning in. We are going to go ahead and show off a few cards that I believe are very good and monumental that can assist you in basically keeping control and momentum of your duel when you're playing against Runick. Because if you have already played against Runick, you know that you're looking at your opponent play for about, 2 to 5 minutes, and they're literally just milling and banishing all your cards. So what is the number one thing you want to think about? It's going to be back row hate. Okay, there are a lot of mid-range decks on Master Duel right now that are playing back row. So back row hate is not only going to be focused on Runick, but it's also going to be focused on other decks, even branded and Floowandereeze, which are playing at a tier 1 meta here in Master Duel. Even Virtual World and Sword Soul, they all have back row. So having back row hate is not going to be necessarily focused on Runick, but it will be a primary source of countering against a Runick player. So to begin this list, we have DD Crow. DD Crow is more of a niche play. You don't have to play DD Crow because most of the cards that you want to get rid of on the Runick player's board is going to be on field. But to prevent any sort of recursion and recycling cards in the graveyard into the deck so they can draw more cards through Fountain, you want to make sure that DD Crow is in your arsenal so that you can target those cards and just get them out of the game to avoid your opponent from recycling through Fountain. Because Drytron is still a thing as well aside from Runick, Duel and Lockbird is a really great card. Not only will it stop all of the consistency with searching against Runick, but it also is going to be very good if you're playing against a Runick player that is running Max C. This is the perfect counter to Max C, and I think it should be in everybody's deck. In my personal opinion, Duel and Lockbird is criminally underrated, but it's such a good card, I would consider playing it at 2. The next card on our list is going to be arguably one of the best hand traps that is not a trap or a spell. It is Ash Blossom. Ash Blossom will counter any sort of search, any sort of Maxi play, and Runick. It'll slow it down significantly and indirectly will also hurt any other deck. Drytron, Sword Soul, Floowandereeze, very good tech to consider. And if you're not playing it and you're playing all gas, you need to consider playing some sort of workshop because this Runick build, this meta that we're going to be seeing that has been created through my experience in the Duelist Cup, it's going to be insane and very sweaty and possibly even toxic. So you want to be prepared so you're not looking at your opponent play only for you to get decked out within the next few turns. The next cards on our list is Harpy's Feather Duster, Twin Twister, and Cosmic Cyclone. You will add even Eradicator, Epidemic Virus, and Evenly Matched because we are looking at back row hate. Now, you don't have to play Twin Twister, you don't have to play Cosmic Cyclone, but Cosmic Cyclone is going to banish your opponent's spell cards from hitting the grave. So that's going to slow them down because they won't be able to recycle off that fountain. And Twin Twister is going to get that fountain from being activated. And Harpy's Feather Duster is basically going to get rid of everything, hopefully, but they will probably have reactory cards in play on field. So Harpy's Feather Duster is the slowest out of these two. And Eradicator Epidemic Virus is a very, very good card against because it's just going to have them send all of their spell cards to the graveyard, making their plays unplayable and possibly causing them to quit from the get-go. Evenly Matched is such a great card because it's going to put you in a position where you don't care if you're going first, you don't care if you're going second, but because your opponent that plays Runick is going to have 2 to 4 cards on field, you can go ahead and avoid your battle phase for 1 turn, hit them with Evenly Matched, and all of their cards are going to get banished face down. So the focus of these 4 cards or these 5 cards is back row hate with these 2, Harpy's Feather Duster and Twin Twister, and Eradicator Epidemic Virus. But if you really just want to clutch them out and you want them to no longer utilize their spells or have any sort of recovery, you want to get cards that will banish their spells. Okay, that's the main focus, banishing their spells. The next card that we have is Anti-Spell Fragrance. If you're able to play Anti-Spell Fragrance, it is such a great card because it is going to prevent your opponent from activating any sort of spell card until the next turn. Okay, so it's going to slow them down significantly. Now, keep in mind, again, Runick plays a lot of quick play spells, so it's like they're setting traps. So while this card is really good, I still find it to be a little too slow for my taste. But if you're able to run Anti-Spell Fragrance over, let's say, any of the cards that I've covered so far, Anti-Spell Fragrance is the move. And it also hurts, it'll also hurt Drytron, and also hurt Sky Striker as well. If you're on the top levels in ranked, or if you're playing against a new event, Anti-Spell Fragrance, you will see these decks. And it is very good against Floowandereeze as well. Going to the second card, to the end, we have Macros Cosmos. We want to banish everything on their end so that their fountain is completely useless. Their choke point is the fountain. If you get rid of that fountain, they will not be able to activate their quick play spells from their hand, forcing them to set them, which then makes all of your back row hate live. So Macro Cosmos is a really good tech as well, and definitely consider having that in your deck. The last card that I used in the Duelist Cup, and I used this card in one of my decks that I will be showing a deck profile for, was Sub-Terror. Imperial Iron Wall was amazing. It did so well against Runic, it did so well against Floowandereeze, and it did so well against branded variants. I would definitely encourage our Imperial Iron Wall. If you can run it and it doesn't harm you, you should be running Imperial Iron Wall. I'm currently running Imperial Iron Wall at 2, Eradicator at 2, 1 Heart Piece Feathers Duster, and 1 Twin Twister in my current build. It is amazing. I did really well in the Duelist Cup. But again, this is just a quick and brief counter guide on how you can prepare yourself for the impending Runic meta that we are currently in and that you will see post-December Duelist Cup 2022. This is Low Tier Hero from Team Drawface. Thank you so much for making it to the end of the video. I really appreciate you being here. If you like the video, go ahead and subscribe. It's completely free. If you agree with this list, go ahead and like the video. And if you disagree with this list, go ahead and leave a comment below. I would definitely love to have a conversation with you. So until next time, this is Low Tier Hero. Take care.